Hello, friends. My name is Janessa Oriel, and I am the premier for Team Imperfectly Awesome. So today is going to be a fairly quick training, but I wanted to be able to come live, or not come live, but go ahead and record this and share it with you because there's a whole lot of we know change is coming, but we don't know what's happening. So the good news is we're all here together. Let's start with that. First off, I want to make sure, and I know that I've had some posts surrounding this, there has been a Be Ready checklist, I believe. And so we know, for those that don't know, there is going to be some compensation plan changes to Perfectly Posh, and we don't actually know what that means yet, which is totally fine because they haven't impacted us just yet. The good news is we know it's coming, and we've been told that we'll be given plenty of notification to be able to be ready when the time does come or when the change does come. We've also been told that it's good for the vast majority of people. But we don't know what that means, right? So what do we do when we're a little bit scared? Well, if you're like me, you obsess about things, right? So you obsess about whatever you can or whatever information's been given. And there is a Be Ready checklist. Now, the Be Ready checklist, I'm recording this and I will pop this in the comments in our team page. The Be Ready checklist includes things like book April, book May, I think maybe even June, March, April, May. Point is, get things on your calendar. And what are things? I am not a real big parties person for no other reason than I don't have the time for parties. So the vast majority of my sales come from communicating with people one-on-one and sharing Posh with them. So when I see book, what I typically read into that, and again, this is all me being me. When I see book, typically for most people, it means do a booking blitz and get events on your calendar. For me, it means make sure to get out of my house and say hello to people and start chatting about pampering and pampering, skincare, just making sure to have time for yourself. Get the Posh on the people, right? Last summer, there was a Posh the People campaign where we were challenged to get new customers, meaning people who had not yet tried Posh, to share samples with them and try and get Posh on the people. And I'm going back to those tactics. That's what I started with, just started in June. So that's what I started with, and I was tremendously successful with it. I admit, with life's challenges, I have taken a pause in terms of not being able to get outside of my own head or my own house, and I have not been sharing Posh like I used to with the excitement and energy that I used to, because I haven't had that, right? So let's talk about getting back to the basics. When I see things like book your next 3 months, I assume they're saying make sure that you are getting out there and expanding your network. However you do that, if you do that in the form of online parties, fantastic. If you do that in the form of one-on-ones, fantastic. If you do that in the form of in-person parties, incredible. Those tend to do better than anything else. Look for opportunities, or make sure that you have opportunities to connect with people to talk about pampering and making sure that they're pampering themselves. For me, it also means going through, when I'm looking through my feed, if someone's having a hard time, I am going to send them some pampering somehow, some way, right? Getting back to those basics. So get Posh on the people. I think that's actually one of the things on the checklist as well. I should probably pull that up. In fact, I will do that while I'm talking. So additionally, let me pull my photos up. So the Be Ready checklist. I'm going to go through this because I feel like it's important. So things to take everywhere you go. And again, this is pointing back, right? This is directly from the list. Things to take everywhere you go. Samples, pink packets, catalogs. What are pink packets? For me, a pink packet is a catalog and samples. So if it says take pink packets, I'm taking catalogs and samples. So I'm going to I have those things in my purse. Actually, I don't have those things in my purse because I handed them out, which is great. I'm doing the things they're saying on the Be Ready checklist. It also says you are a sphere of influence. FYI, that's on the title. So it makes me think. Get product on the people, going back to basics, right? Share samples, your contact information in one simple line. I love this product, and I think you will too. Make sure that sounds like you. So I wouldn't say this product personally. I would say, I absolutely love this hand cream. I think you will too. That's how I would phrase it. Make it sound like you. Pampering readings, has everyone you know gotten a pampering reading? I admit I have not given as many pampering readings as I should, so I will bust those out. In fact, I was talking to somebody Sunday about she wants anti-aging, and so I need to share that. I need to do a pampered reading for her. And then next point is offer the Posh Life buy 5 get 1 bundle. Note that those are now coupons. We've had those discussions. Parties, girls' nights, join the pampering fun, be part of the team. So that's pointing to recruiting, right? So Posh Life recruiting. The goal is to do what you can to expand your team. Do what you can to expand. We want to expand team and perfectly awesome, ideally. But for me, I'm trying to look at this as this is a be ready checklist for me. So I want to follow this. I need to work on recruiting, right? So I'm going to be selfish and work on recruiting for me. But I think that you should be selfish and work on recruiting for you. And this goes back to, if you're scared to offer the opportunity, think about what would have happened if you weren't offered this opportunity. Think about what this has done for you and what this has the potential to do for you. For our friends that were not in Mexico with Shannon and I, think about what a free vacation could look like for you. Would it be for you? Would it be for you and somebody else? And then I know that y'all are willing and ready to work for that. Now, I also know that we don't know what next year's incentive trip is, and that's okay, right? If you're doing the things on this Be Ready checklist, I can assure you, you will be doing the things that you will need to do to earn that incentive trip. Last year they announced it in July, and it started in July. That was at Unconventional, which is Posh's conference. So this year's Unconventional actually isn't until August. Second weekend in August, I believe, and it's in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I encourage you to be there. I'm going to go to that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to go on stage, at least as a premiere and potentially as an annual award earner, if I can get things together and get MA this month. I need 3 more. I have 6 months worth. I need 9 months to get the annual award. So next item on the Be Ready checklist for you are a sphere of influence. Someone's joining me. Hi. I am under speaker view, which is great. So hi, Candy. I cannot see your face, and that's totally fine. We are talking about the Be Ready checklist. So I'm going through that. I've gone through the left-hand side. I'm now on the right-hand side, talking about look at your sphere of influence. And I will be honest, this is the part that is stuck in my brain and just circling and circling and circling, because when I don't know what's happening, I tend to perseverate on what information I have, and this is the slice that I am stuck on. So it says, look at your sphere of influence, and the first item is your frontline and their frontline. What is a frontline? A frontline is somebody that joined your team immediately. So when I say that, I mean, there we go. I want the speaker view. So when I say your frontline, I'm saying anybody that joined your team personally, those are the ones that you want to look at. It says, look at your sphere of influence, your frontline. So when I say your frontline, if you joined immediately under me, if I am your sponsor, I am looking at you. Hi, friends. And then it says, and their frontline. So if you joined somebody, and I am their sponsor, I'm going to look at you too. And I encourage you to look at your frontline, anyone who joined your team personally. And I would have you look at anybody who's joined their team if you have a frontline with a frontline. Okay, so I'm stuck on that, and I'm just staring at it over and over, and I get stuck in my head, and this is one of those things. What are your goals for the month? So then looking at my personal goals, how can you collaborate for success? Are your calendars full? Are you sharing ideas? This goes back to, are you booking things that are going to get you sales, is my assumption, and get you in contact with more people, because as we know in direct sales, the more people you meet directly is proportional to the number of, the more people you meet and share Posh with. You can't just meet them and then have them expect to ask you about Posh, right? You have to share Posh with them. And this goes back to have a hand cream in your purse at all times and offer it out like gum. That is my favorite way to share Posh. Also, I feel like hand creams are like the gateway drug, right? And chunks, but I have a hard time mailing chunks, so I don't mail chunks, but hand creams, gateway. And then, so are your calendars full? Are you sharing ideas? That's part of why we do training, right? And then what are your goals for the month? How often do you talk? Or will you talk? I assume that means with your frontline and their frontline. And how do you sample? We talked about that. I'd love to hear how you each are sampling. Pop those in the comments when I post this in the team page. And then how many follow-ups are you doing this week? So follow-ups, you need a system for follow-ups. I use Maven. I think that everyone knows that I use Maven, but what that does for me is it means that I automatically have reminders to follow up with my customers, and they appreciate that. So that way, if, for example, something's not working for them or they're not loving it, they have the option to be able, I know it without them just disappearing off the face of the earth, right? I know it. I know if they're using their products. I know if they're not using their products because they're not going through them. They're not reordering, right? And then the last big bullet point for this Be Ready checklist on the You Are a Sphere of Influence is fill the calendar for this month, next month, and the following month. So this month is March. Next month is April. Look, guys, I can read a calendar. And the following month is May. So it's just saying, make sure that you are prepared to get out there and share, right? So that is the goal. So yes, what I am stuck on, or what I do know, right? For those that don't know, I've been through a compensation plan rollout. I didn't stay long with my prior company's compensation plan rollout because I struggled with it. I didn't have information. I hope that Posh will do better with this. I feel like they're going to have more information than we were given for those that were involved in the same rollout. I believe that they've stated that there will be plenty of time for you to change your behaviors, because when a compensation plan changes, typically the behaviors to succeed in that compensation plan also change. There are some sticking points that I know they are looking to get rid of, or I assume, and so we want to make sure that we are, as long as you stick to, again, this goes back to what I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on your front line and their front line, okay? So if you focus on your front line, well, you focus on you, right? Because you want to make sure that your business is healthy and ready to go. And then focus on your front line and their front line. You, I assume, will be in a good position. Everything that is on that Be Ready checklist is things that we know. We want to share Posh. We want to get it out there. We want to make sure to expand our current, they call it sphere of influence. We want to make sure that we're expanding our current business, right? Get out there, share it, be excited about it. And then being able to check in, assuming with your front line and their front line. That's what I'm stuck on. So as this rolls out, I will be as communicative as I can be as soon as we have information. And I encourage you, if you have questions, reach out to me, okay? I want to make sure that we are having great dialogue around this, and I want to make sure that everybody's know that I don't want to say I'm not nervous, because I am nervous, because with any change it can be scary, but I want you to know that I am here for you. Okay, we can chat it out, we can talk it out. I can listen, and I can hear, and I can empathize if I can empathize, but let's make sure that we're having a good dialogue surrounding anything that you're feeling about this. This apparently year is the year of the feels for me. The feels, the emotions, the just frustrations of general life, the emotions of a preteen daughter. If I can handle her, I can handle this. But the goal is, we're a team, we're here for each other, and I'm really excited to be here for you, even if it may not be crazy. I used to be much more available than I am currently, and I recognize that's for a variety of things. One is, and like I said, it's the year of emotions. I'm taking my time to make sure that I'm as stable as I can be. Additionally, I want you to know that I'm doing my very best to be here for you, but I also need to be able to take take a step back and make sure that I'm focusing on life issues, because there's been a lot, right? Which is fine. Life issues is fine. And I know that we've had a number of team members that have had a lot of lifey things going on this year. So let's make sure that Posh is a bright spot. And Posh helps fuel our souls, and ideally fill our pocketbooks is the goal as well. So if you are wanting to, if you have questions on that, please reach out to me or to your sponsor or to anyone really on our team. But I'm here for you, and I just want to make sure that you know that too. So go back to that Be Ready checklist. Be ready for changes, right? Know that we will be as communicative as possible, and I am here for you. And if all else fails, set a small goal for yourself, like one small goal, like share Posh with one person each day. If you're already doing that, double it to 2. If you're already doing that, double it to 4. And then decide where you want to be, and then see what results you get, okay? I encourage you to share. If you're not already sharing in person, sharing in person is terrifying, but it's also the most economical, right? You get to connect with people who are local to you. You get to share with people who are local to you. You can have a virtual Posh Life meeting, right? With people if they are local to you. You can have that. It's mid-April. There's some information in the newsroom surrounding that virtual event. But there is something to be said about having local Posh peeps, right? So I encourage you to work to at least communicate with one person each day surrounding Posh outside your home, which I recognize is scary. But if you don't do the scary things, you're not going to grow, right? And if you're not ready for growth, I totally get it. I get it. The year of the emotions. But try. Oh, that's a bad word for Alyssa. Do your best to expand your sphere of influence, right? Make sure that you're getting out there and you're sharing. So I am going to wrap this up so it's short and easy for friends to watch after the fact. And I hope that you have an incredible day. And I look forward to sharing more when we have more to share. I look forward to seeing you succeed, and we are going to collectively kind of link arms, create a circle, spear, and we'll go from there. Thanks, friends. Have a great day. Go Posh the people.